Hey folks, welcome back to the VP. My name is Greg. I am a functional health practitioner, and if you have a subclinical condition, and by that I mean something that the doctor has left you on your own to deal with, sent you away and told you that you're going to have for the rest of your life, like eczema or a gut problem or dermatitis or perhaps chronic fatigue, then you are in the right place. You are exactly the type of person that I want to help and that I work with on a day-to-day basis. Now in this video I want to talk about sugar, and a bit controversially, I want to say that sugar is not the devil that it is being made out to be constantly in society. Now, this is not new, and I've made videos about this before, as long-term viewers of the channel will know. But I do feel the need to make another video again because this is just not going away. Sugar is being made out to be a devil. I regularly find myself having to rebuttal this, having to bust the myths and set the record straight on this one. Contrary to the prevailing notion, sugar, I believe, is not a malevolent force, but rather a vital nutrient for our bodies, very much part of the recipe for vitality. So let's delve into the facts and science to understand why sugar should not be vilified as a drug, but should be appreciated for its essential role in our health. Now, while it's true that excessive consumption of refined sugar can lead to inflammation and other health issues, we must not overlook the fact that sugar is a fundamental nutrient. Our bodies thrive on glucose, which is a primary component of sugar and serves as the chief source of energy for our cells. It's fuel for our bodies, powering us through our daily activities, both mentally and physically. There's plenty of research out there that shows that maintaining the right balance of glucose in our cells is crucial for optimal health. Avoiding sugar entirely can lead to insufficient intracellular glucose levels, which may result in various health problems, not limited to things like exhaustion, depression, and food cravings. Our bodies need sugar. In fact, our brains run exclusively on glucose. An interesting example comes from the world of professional cycling. The Tour de France has been on just recently, and over the years, if you're a regular viewer of the Tour de France, you'll have noticed this too. Riders have shifted their perspective on sugar. They now consume much more sugar during stages compared to just a few years ago. Why? Because they have recognized the importance of glucose in sustaining their performance and endurance levels during those long 150, 200 kilometer stages. Sugar in sufficient quantities can be a performance enhancing ally. Again, I'm not going to call it a drug. It is a nutrient that is essential to get through these grueling races like the Tour de France, but also just everyday life too. Like if you're a parent or if you're holding down a full-time stressful job, you need some sugar in your life to help you to deal with that. I've personally helped a number of experienced cyclists make it home after hitting exhaustion point during the ride, simply because I had a bottle of sugar water on my bike frame. Now, in the past, vintage marketing campaigns like Lucozade highlighted how glucose was considered highly valuable in cases of exhaustion, nausea, mental fatigue, nervous fits and upsets, weak digestion. And all this goes to show that sugar has been appreciated for its benefits throughout history, and it's really only in the last few years that it's become this devil that should be avoided. The rise in artificial sweeteners, by the way, as a replacement for sugar is in itself a pretty deeply concerning trend that we're seeing. And they might seem like a healthier alternative to sugar because of, reduced inflammation effects. However, their long-term effects on health are still completely an unknown at this point. Natural sugar sources like fruit and honey, maple syrup, and even raw brown sugar bring other valuable nutrients to the table too, whereas your artificial sweeteners completely lack those benefits. Sugar is not the devil. It is not a drug. It's a nutrient that our bodies rely on for energy and proper functioning. Like many things in life, consumption scenarios are key. So if you were to consume sugar like Jonas Vingegaard in the Tour de France, and you're just sitting at your desk, then yeah, the results might not be fantastic. But getting sugar and carbohydrates at a level relative to your daily output in proportion to where you're at in life, that is essential for feeling on top of your game and for giving your body the fuel that it needs. Don't underestimate the physical and mental energy required to be a parent, to run errands, to do a desk job. Many have experienced burnout, fatigue, confusion, embarrassment, even from simply not having enough instant access glucose on hand to complete their daily tasks. Now, in many cases, and I really should touch on this point because it's important for those of you who genuinely do have a sugar metabolism issue, in many of these cases, sugar is being blamed for the health problems rather than looking at the secondary or the root cause level of how you got there in the first place. Sugar might not necessarily be the issue, even though you're having a problem metabolizing it now, in the same way that if you've got a car that's not burning fuel properly, was it bad fuel in the first place that caused that issue? 9 times out of 10, or even more, most probably not. So if you've got a fat sugar combination, which is very common in the standard Western diet, and you've been eating a lot of fat in connection with your carbohydrate intake for many years, lots of processed foods, this is a recipe for metabolic issues. And we don't really have time to get into the weeds of all of that in this video, but I can make another video on that if you guys are interested. So look, if you're afraid of sugar and you know that you're not diabetic at this point, why not track your sugar levels using a blood glucometer anyway, and just see how your body is managing sugar, and then vary the intakes of your other foods like your fats and your proteins and processed foods, and see how your body handles the absorption and assimilation of the sugars that you are eating. It's very cheap to do, and you will take the guesswork out of the equation. So look, if you've got any other questions, comments, or criticisms, please feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. And if you want to get in touch with me directly and have a conversation about this, you can book a free, no obligation call with me on the website. That's thevitalityproject.co.uk. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is a link to that in the comments, in the description box down below. The takeaway point from this video is, if you have, or you suspect you have, a sugar metabolism issue, it most probably is not actually a sugar problem. Sugar is the issue now, but intake of sugar was probably not what got you there in the first place. You probably need to do some deeper digging and look at what else might have gotten you there. That's the end of the video. You are free to go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again very soon.